Hey everyone, happy Friday. It's Tori from Calypso Creative Planning. For this digital plan with me this week, I dug into my archives of screen recordings and pulled out a Friends themed weekly spread that I'm really excited to share with you. So stay tuned and see it. All right, so for this spread, I was working in my Hydrangea 1 month planner, and I found this Friends themed sticker book from it's Keto Creations, Keto Creations. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it, but I found this Friends themed sticker set, and I just had to have it because me and my sister are pretty much obsessed with Friends, and I'm trying to convert my husband into a Friends fan, but it's not quite there yet. We'll work on it. I mean, he's getting there. I don't know why I'm motioning with my hands. You guys can't see that, but at this point I do it. Okay, so with this spread, I did it's a method that I honestly haven't really done in a very long time. Because this is 2020 when I did this spread, July of 2020. So this method, if you want to call it, basically I just go to the sticker sets and just pull in a bunch of stuff that I may or may not use. Things that, I like, things that go together, things that may work, may not. And I just throw them on the spread. And then once I've thrown them on the spread, then I just kind of weed through it all and move it all around and layer things up, cut and paste and all this kind of stuff until things look right. So that's how this spread is starting out. And I feel like that this was the way that I planned pretty consistently back in the day. I mean, it feels like 2020 was a while ago. I mean, we're in 2022 now. What the fuck? Anyways, but I feel like I used to plan like this all the time, and on the one hand it's very freeing because you just throw a bunch of shit on the page and then see what just pops out. But then on the other hand, it's it just looks like a hot mess for a little bit, and the perfectionist in me struggles with that sometimes. So maybe that's why I've sort of gotten away from it. But it's also a really fun way to plan. So if you haven't planned this way, try it and see if it's for you. Because, sometimes I've heard people say that they struggle with, coming up with creative layouts and playing around with things. So just try this method and see if it works for you. You may hate it, you may love it, who knows? This is a sticker set from Everlasting Inks. This was a freebie set. I don't think that they even have a shop anymore. I haven't been able to find them, so I don't think they're still doing it, but it was a really cute set. I still have it. I haven't used either of these in forever because I have so many freaking stickers that it's hard to use them all. So maybe I'll use some of these for a daily spread today because I haven't decorated a daily spread. So I might do that. Whether or not I'll actually use it, who the heck knows, because that happens too. But this is the Rise and Grind set from Luxbook. This great set too. I love Kristen's stuff with Luxbook. What is my dog doing? What are you doing? She's prancing around in circles behind my chair. Okay, so Rise and Grind. Throwing these on here. I don't ask me what city that is. It's the Cityscape, but I felt like that fit the Friends theme. I think because they're in the city. And then this is Love to Layer 2. There's another Love to Layer, a first one, but by Luxbook. And like I said, I'm just going through and I have no real idea what I wanted to do for this spread. Now, keep in mind, I did this in 2020, so I'm just trying to remember some of the stuff that I did and some of my thought processes. But I've edited down this video. I can always tell when I go back and look at my screen recordings and I have to actually edit that. I can always tell when I'm planning while distracted, because there'll be like long pauses that you guys luckily don't have to endure. But when I'm editing these screen recordings, sometimes there'll be like long pauses of who knows what I was doing. I probably got distracted by a TV show or my husband or something, and I have to edit those out. But honestly, I have no idea where I was going with that. Seriously, anybody else know? Like, you're going to answer me. Anyways, oh my gosh. Okay, so, I was saying what I planned. Okay, so I didn't really plan what I wanted to do for this. I just knew that I wanted to use that Friends themed sticker set and thought of some things that would go with it. And you'll see it later on in here. But I also did a Google search for some Friends imagery, and I was able to find like the yellow frame, and I had to really search for that one. But I found that as a PNG, so transparent background. So that was cool. So I was able to save that from a Google search, and then another Friends image, and I'll throw those on. You'll see those here in a minute. But that's as far as my planning went. So, I mean, I kind of feel like this is like a really free-flowing way to plan. But as you can see, it looks like a hot mess right now. It gets better. Trust me, it gets better. But if you haven't tried this method, just try it. Just, a couple times. See what you think. And maybe it will help you spark ideas. Because that's how I used to use this method when I had no idea what I wanted to do. I would just like throw a bunch of stuff on the page and see how they go together, what works and what doesn't. I don't always use everything. Like with this one, I ended up deleting some things. But this is also a good way to get some ideas for layering. So when you have, which everyone's like, how do you layer stuff? So here's the frame that I found and a Friends image from Google search, because like I just pulled those in from Google, just saved them on my iPad. But when you pull things in like this with like patterned, shapes and squares and backgrounds, and then your functional, boxes for your notes, when you see them all together, it kind of gives you like some ideas. It kind of helps like spark some ideas for how to layer things and what can be overlapped, because honestly everything is overlapped here in the beginning, and then so you can sort of like start to get a feel for it. And so this is the point where I pulled off the date stickers that I had and wanted to do something different for the headers. And I don't know if I ever shared this setup video. If I didn't, I'll go back and look and see if I can find that. But I went through in July of 2020 and I took this 1 month planner and kind of like set it up to get it ready for the month. And I took some date stickers and I went through and like dated all of my weekly pages. I didn't date all the daily pages because this one comes with linked daily pages. But I did go through and I dated the month and I dated all the weekly pages. That way, if I needed to write down a note, I could just go to that page and like put it like a reminder on, the 30th or what. Obviously, I didn't have any for this one, but so the numbers, I threw those on there because it is an undated planner. But then when it comes to the actual spread and time to decorate, I can just pull those off and I don't have to go and look up, what dates I need because they're already there. And then it just allows me to create, something themed. And so I can just start layering these up. And I thought this would be a fun, daily, header idea. So I just layered on a colored box and then the number and then the abbreviated days. One thing to remember about this method, since you are throwing everything on the page at once, unless your memory is crazy amazing, it's going to be really hard for you to remember what came in when. So you're going to have some stuff that like is sitting underneath things because they were pasted in earlier on. and stuff sitting on top because it was like the latest. So the easiest way to get around that is when you want to use something, just cut and paste. That way you know it's on top. You don't have to like move a sticker and then it's all of a sudden behind something else you're layering, because that's annoying. Although you will see me do that here. But that's my little trick. I mean, that's like the go-to trick for layering stickers up in GoodNotes. If you're working in Noteshelf, which I'm still divided on Noteshelf, I don't know. But Noteshelf has a, move to the front or to the back type of, option. But for GoodNotes, you just cut and paste. It's simple. I don't know why people like struggle with that. Just cut and paste. Like, don't be lazy. It's just cut and paste. I've heard so many people complain in groups about, isn't there an easier way than cutting and pasting? Why is cutting and pasting so difficult? I mean, really, why is it difficult? It's not difficult. It's just not, okay? Like, there's other things to complain about. So, okay, pet peeve of mine. Can you tell? All right, so here I wanted to layer up one of these little quote stickers. Now, if you're a Friends fan, then you know that all of that, well, maybe you don't know. I don't know. If you're like a real fan, I guess you probably do know that all of their episodes start with the phrase, the one with, or the one where, or something like that. So I really like this quote sticker where it says, the one with all my planning, because obviously that's not an episode name, but it works. It just works, and I like it. So I thought that would be fun to use here and just layer up for my habit tracking. And when you have all this stuff just on the page, just use the image tool or the lasso tool to just kind of shift things around, and it'll spark some ideas. Like, see, I had no idea what I wanted to do with that cityscape, but it fits right there and looks so good just sitting right on top of that. I just really like it. And I had a payday sticker because it was like the first of the month at the end here, so payday time. And this frame, that frame was so cute, and it was really hard to find. If you are looking for something like that from like a Google search and you wanted to have that transparent background, make sure that you either use the phrase transparent background or PNG. Now, not all PNGs are going to have transparent backgrounds, but a JPEG will never have a transparent background. So if you just do a search for a PNG, you're more likely to find it than if you just do like, just type in what you're looking for. That is my tip. And here's what I mean about, like, if you don't, just go ahead and just cut and paste, because otherwise you're not going to remember which one came and when, and it's going to go behind, and it's just kind of annoying. But I just, seeing this video again, like watching this, I mean, I know I did it. I made this. So, but watching it back, it makes me want to do this method again, where I just throw a bunch of shit on the page and then figure it out. And like, honestly, I really encourage you, try it out, test it out, and just once. Give it don't do just once, because that's not enough of a like experiment. Do a couple spreads like that where you just throw a bunch of stuff on the page and then just look at it together and let the ideas come to you. Just try that. If you're struggling with like, I don't know how to layer, or I don't know how to mix and match, because I know some people, they have it in their head that like if you're creating a spread, like everything has to be from the same set. No, I mean, you totally can, but for me, that's harder than if you mix and match. So I love to just pull from here and pull from there, pull from my shop, pull from this shop, pull from that shop, pull from Google. Apparently I don't do that very often, but I did here. But just like experiment, play around, and just by throwing it on the page, then you see it all together. You can move things around and get like an idea, especially if you're mixing and matching from different sets. It allows you to just kind of like open up more possibilities, right? At least that's how I see it. So I encourage you, try it, see what you think. And here's a fun way to layer. And I didn't even cut and paste that because I figured that would be underneath. But see, you can just like a solid color element next to, layered on underneath basically a functional box. This is a circle box, but I mean, boxes can be circles, right? They make those. It's like, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, but like, just try it out. Just play around and move things out of the way and move things next to other things, and until that visual just kind of just comes together for you, and try to balance out. I didn't realize this was going to be like a tutorial type of thing, but I guess it is. Just when you're working on these things, like, try to think about like balance, and think about, I have colors on this side, so to make it balanced, you want those colors to be repeated somewhere on this other side. So that's one reason why I pulled this purple circle over here, because it's also on the left. So by pulling it on the right, you've got like that balance, and I've kind of got like this diagonal line. I just noticed that going on. But so you just play around with different things of, groupings, and if you like certain groupings, you'd like to use them again, just save those groupings. Like, have like a blank sticker book or notebook or something. I have a few in my shop, not that this is a sales pitch for that, but just have somewhere where like, that these things work together, and you like to use them again. Go ahead and just have them already grouped, already layered up, and just save somewhere. Or if it's 2 stickers from the same sticker book, just add another page at the end, like in the Luxe Book sticker set that I showed. Like, you could always add another page at the end, and then go ahead and layer up something that you like the arrangement of. It's pleasing to the eye, it's functional. There's nothing wrong with go ahead and like layering it up and just reusing that. And that's one of the beauteous things. I know beauteous is not a word, but it just felt right. That's one of the great things about digital planning, is that you can use stickers over and over and over again. Like, I've said this before, but I came from the world of paper planning, and I don't know how many times I was hesitant to use stickers, because I knew once I used them, that was it. You can use them again. They're done. And I may still have a little bit of this hoarding of washi tape. That I had this one washi tape. It was like a pink and purple gradient with some like gold flecks in it. It was so fucking pretty. And I just was so hesitant to use it because I didn't want it to be gone. And you don't have that problem with digital stickers. So just like embrace it. Just go with it. It's okay to use the same sticker set like 10 times. Who cares? If it makes you happy, just do it. If you have those go-tos that that you love, and you want to use them for like, ooh, challenge. Okay, challenge. We should do this. I know I'm weird, but right in the comments, let me know what you think about this idea for a challenge. To take a selection of stickers, maybe it's, probably not like one set, because we don't want to be boring, but take, maybe like a couple different sets of sticker books, and then do an entire week's worth of planning using that, and creating completely different spreads, like a weekly spread and like several daily spreads, all using the same stickers, just to challenge yourself to break out of like whatever kind of box thinking you're in, and just use those things in so many different ways. Like, I think that'd be fun. Who wants to do that? I kind of want to do that. I come up with these challenges, and then I'm like, who has the time to do that with all this other stuff? Like, I wanted to do like some art journaling stuff with different sticker sets every day of the month. Haven't done that either. Anyways, okay, so this is how the spread turned out at the end of the week with all my notes on it. I used like the highlighter tool to separate my notes instead of like bullet points, and I just love that look. I need to do that again. It's fun. And okay, that's it. I'm out. That's enough randomness. Bye, guys.